Gotta start the video with wow. Got to start the video with wow. Before I get into my commentary, we'll play a few videos for y'all. Um, and I want to put this disclaimer out here. I always put this out in the beginning of my video just so we clear. Um, I make these videos um for the black community, the American black community. The American black community is in a situation as I speak that is so that is in and when I'm speaking as a whole, because you always got people who and I gotta say these things. My channel's small now, but it's gonna be big one day because I'm gonna keep building. And you gotta say something because some people are just have pea brain. So I'm saying this for the pea brain people, right? I understand that it's black family who doing great. I have some in my family. I know some. I'm connected with some. We know that already, but we know as a whole, blacks are in a bad situation, and so our so-called leaders. Well, I'm not gonna say our because they not my leader, but the so-called, because that's all it is, are so-called. They not real. The so-called black leaders like Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, the so-called blacks and liberal whites of the Democratic Party that plays like they care. These pea brain athletes. Um, Most of these black preachers, not all of them, because some of them is kid letting the truth be told, but most of them they hired hands. They not true shepherds. And I had actually did a message on that on my channel. Go check it out. On are you being led by a hired hand or a true shepherd? But and you go check that video out, you'll understand what I mean when I say that, right? And like the younger black community, they listen to rap, they follow the rappers. They like we in a bad situation, bro, because nobody is telling us what we need to do to fix us. It's the white man doing this. It's systematic racism. It's white supremacy. It's all these different things. Nobody is telling the black man and the black woman what they need to do, and really the black man, because he is the head. And we could sit here and talk about the black woman all day. We can't talk about the black woman without first talking about the black man. Because all these black women out here that's lost is lost because of a black man, whether it be her father, her boyfriend, baby daddy, it's a man's fault. The man is the head. The black man is gonna have to fix the community. It's not gonna come from the black woman. So that's why I'm really speaking to the black man. But this channel is geared toward the black community as a whole. So let me get into what I'm making this video about today. This gentleman that's on the screen, Ja Morant, um, top 25 player in the NBA, in pay, in how he plays. He's a great player. He's a young guy. Now let's talk about it. Let's go a little bit deep. Let's talk about Ja Morant. Unlike a lot of the guys in the NBA, he didn't come up in a one single parent household and struggled and just so happened to get blessed to go in the NBA. This is a brother who come up in a two-parent household, went to private schools, got a scholarship, went to college, had a golden road paved for him. Everything was paved for him. What I mean by that is, his family did what they were supposed to do. He did what he was supposed to do, and it all accumulated to him going to be a professional basketball player and a great one at that. Right? But picture somebody do all that, make it to the NBA, and want to be a thug, want to be a street nigga, want to be around niggas. Not black people, but want to be around niggas. And like I say, the next thing I make these videos for is to give my people not only a blueprint on how to fix this, because I'm solutions based and solutions oriented, but to give them an understanding, because that the scriptures say, in all you're getting, get an understanding. And we seem not to understand why certain things are the way they are. And for the next part, no one really cares. And everybody else, they monetize off of it. Even our own, like these so-called fake black leaders, they mon. Listen, you don't see Al Sharpton in New Orleans. You don't see Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, Kamala Harris, all these black race hustlers. You don't see them in Chicago. You don't see them in New York. You don't see them in Atlanta. You don't see them in Houston. You don't see them in LA South. You don't see them when blacks are dying on the street every day. You don't see them. You don't see them, and you ain't gonna see them because they can't make no money off of that. Don't you know? Just think about it for a minute before we go into this story, because this on my mind, so I'ma speak it. Don't you know if every time a black man was being killed in one of these cities, St. Louis, where black crime is at an all-time high, don't you know one of these so-called black leaders, these fake liberal black preachers, these fake talking, these fake characters of the Democratic Party that so-called love black people would go into these areas and march like they march. Just we're gonna just keep it like this. BLM, the Black Lives Matter movement, the Black Lesbian Matter movement, whatever you want to call it. The type of chaos and marching and rioting that they do when a black man is killed by a white man. Picture them doing that when black on black crime. Don't you think black on black crime? I'm not saying it would end, but man, it would drop. But they don't care about you, black man. They don't care. And so much of our time we have been. I always say this too. That's why that was a issue. That's why I say the civil rights movement was one of the biggest mistakes for black people, because they was taught. And I got a video on that to break that down. If you don't understand when I say that, go on my channel. I got a video on that. Click the link in the bio. In the description. But the reason why, because it taught black people to blame somebody else and look at somebody else as a leader besides God. You got to realize a lot of these people today in the church and so-called Christians, they don't believe in God. They believe in the pastor. God is just secondhand, and God is jealous about that, and he's very angry and upset about that. But that's another video for another day. So here you got this guys. I just gave you his bio. 2-parent household, private school, made it to the NBA on a scholarship. Had a scholarship in college. And you went through all that. Never stayed in no hood. Of course he black, so I'm sure it's somebody in his family that stayed in the hood. Not saying he never was in the hood in his life, but his father kept him away from all that. And he made it to this point and want to be a thug, want to be a street nigga. Now a month ago, he was in a strip club dangling a pea shooter, a gun so small. I think we used to call them in the hood derringers. And he got suspended for 8 games. I believe he got fined. I'm not sure, but that stopped him from making the All NBA first team, which would have made him get a max contract. And because of that, he wasn't able to get a max contract. So his contract is gonna be for 194 million, and not the 100 and I think 100. It was supposed to be 234, but now it's gonna be 139 million. I know he lost 39 million. Just from him dangling the pistol. We about to get off into all that. We about to break it down to the bone gristle. Right? So today, again, once again, he is in his truck with some dude that's not his friend. They not his friend. And I sure hope he see this, and I tell his friends in their face that they not his friend. Ain't no way in the world. One or two things would happen if Ja Morant was my friend. One or two things would happen. Either he would cut me off, because sometimes that's what happened. The real person that's around people that, get money and fame, that always, gonna keep it real and not be a yes man, they sometimes get cut off. So one or two things would happen with me and Ja Morant if I was his friend. Either he would cut me off, or I'd be so deep in his behind every day about what he need to do right, he'll change. Because at the end of the day, he the bad. So I gotta protect him at all costs, even from himself. He's a young man, got a lot of money, a lot of power, a lot of fame. So it's always, or it should always be a friend around you that's gonna look beyond who you is and look. I don't care how much money you got. I don't care about none of that. My thing is to make sure your well being is straight. If I don't care about you, even if I don't care about you, I need to make sure you straight and stay out of trouble because you the bad. You the one. You the electricity that's keeping all the lights on. But niggas is so not black people. I'm not talking about black niggas is so stupid with they nigga nonsense that they just want to be. They group it out themselves. They just want to be in the limelight with Ja Morant, and they ain't gonna say nothing because they don't want to mess up that. Man, listen. That nigga. First of all, if I'm gonna be live, if we gonna go live and I'm gonna record you or whatever, we gonna make sure the weed is put out. Even though the NBA said weed good, even though the NBA, I think it was the NFL, one of those leagues allowed. But even if weed was legal for NBA players to smoke, I don't even want that in my video because I understand that I'm a brand now. I understand that I'm a brand. I understand they got children all over the world that look up to me. And the more my image is clean, the more endorsements, the more opportunities I'm gonna get to create generational wealth. But once again, all we think about is us and living in the moment. Ja Morant ain't thinking about that he got an opportunity. God blessed him with an opportunity to set his family up for the rest of to the fact that no Morant ever got to work again. He in a position to do that. He ain't been in the NBA 5 years. He already done got a $194 million contract. That's just for basketball. That's not counting all his other endorsements like Nike and whatever else he got going on. Not to mention if he got investments. So he got a whole lot going on, but he in a position to literally change the Morant bloodline forever. But he want to be a thug because he not thinking about. He only thinking about today. I'm thugging. I got money. And for this dude, his first of all, it's not his friend who recorded him, but just in case, just whoever, if he told the dude to record it and show that gun, after what you just went through, they people just already just you went through a public perp walk damn near for showing that gun in the strip club, and this what you gonna do? This what you gonna turn around and do? And then you know what you got. You already know. Y'all already know. The black internet revolutionary, they gotta come. Once again, as I said aforementioned, the civil rights movement was one of the biggest mistakes for the black people. And all our so-called black leaders, all of them, the black preachers, not all but some, most, these fake members of the Democratic Party that act like they care so much about black people, they all failed the black community. Which they never cared. It's all about power and wealth. But they failed the black community because they taught them to always worry about somebody else. Never hold yourself accountable, black man and black woman. It's somebody else's fault. So, of course, you know the internet revolutionaries, the black wokey woke, the black liberals, they had to come with the if he was white. So let's go to that picture. Let's go to that picture. Instead of saying, you know what, this brother wrong. Now, you don't have to comment or not, because what you say 9 times out of 10 somebody on social media doesn't matter. But if you're going to have a comment to say, let it be known that he need to be held accountable for his stupid mistakes. But that's not what the black revolutionaries, the black wokey wokes, the liberal blacks, always is somebody else's fault. It's never their fault, and it's always the white man. They give the white man more power than he actually have. So let's go to it. Some guy by the name of I Know Puck, a black guy, a liberal black, which is a liberal black man is a woman trapped in a man's body for the record, but we're going to move past that. So, look what it says. Ja is a bonehead, but why is he getting punished? When this is a representative from his state. Now, I forgot this gentleman's name, but he's a Republican representative in the state of Tennessee, and he's pro-Second Amendment, right? So that means he is pro-gun. But that's not the fact. He got these guns, and there's a good chance I would be willing to bet that they registered. If they not, that's his business. He in his home. But these guns are registered, and it's just a family picture. And I'm not taking up for nobody. I'm rectifying the truth. One thing about me on this channel, this is not a gender war channel. This is not a, the white man, the Jew. This is a pro-black channel, a pro-truth channel. right? And that means tell black people what they're doing wrong. Forget everybody else. That's almost like going walking to the mirror and seeing that you got a mark in your face or dirt in your face or whatever, and you saying it's all the ground fault, it's all this fault. Instead of saying, you know what, I need to do what I need to do to clean my face. You could blame whatever got the dirt in your face. That doesn't matter. You need to focus on cleaning your face. Until then, you just focus on, okay, I was working all day, and I was painting. Say, because I remember I used to be I'm a sandblaster painter by trade, and sometimes when you spraying pipes, the paint will get in your face. So that'd have been the equivalent of me coming home every day saying, God damn, man, that's them pipe getting all that paint in my face. That pipe getting all that paint in my face. That pipe getting all that paint in my face, and never doing anything to clean the paint off of my face, number one, and number two, wearing a protective shield to protect the paint from continue to get in my face. I know it's the paint. I know what the problem is. I know why the paint is getting in my face, but yet I'm not going to do anything about it but complain about it. Instead of doing two things. One, clean the paint out of my face, and two, putting a protective shield next time to protect my face from the paint getting on it. But that's not what these people, the black leaders, the athletes, all they still, the white man, it's the police. It's this, it's that, it's this. It's never us, right? So the next thing, this dude is not paid hundreds of millions of dollars. He doesn't represent anyone but himself and the state, and he not breaking the law. Ja Morant, for one, is representing the Memphis Grizzlies. He's representing Nike. He's representing whoever else he has endorsement with. And also, he's paid millions of dollars. Also, he hurting the bottom line when he do stuff like that. Also, he has something called a moral clause in his contract. And what a moral clause, and you guys can look it up, but what a moral clause is, it said that you can't do certain things. And certain things, meaning certain things that may not be a crime, but certain crimes too, with certain things that make, because he didn't break no law now, because I'm almost positive he got guns in his name. He is not a convicted felon. He an NBA player, so I'm sure the gun was in his name, right? So he didn't break any law for there's the law of the land. But what he doing is he hurting the bottom line. He hurting himself. He hurting his image, right? He don't know he ruined some things for himself. He don't know that he have ruined some things for himself by his action. He don't even know it, right? But going back to his comparison, so he have a moral clause in his contract that says he can't do certain things because it's children and people who watching him, who looking up to him, and also some of his movements, some of the things that he do represents Grizzlies, and it can hurt the Grizzlies. What he doing with the moral clause said that you can't do nothing to hurt the Grizzlies name or the NBA shield. And that's what he doing. I remember Carmelo Anthony a long time ago. People can say whatever they want about Carmelo Anthony. Maybe he didn't win a national championship. I mean, he won a national championship. He didn't win the NBA title. But Carmelo Anthony is a first ballot Hall of Fame and one of the greatest players to ever play the game. But you know why he never got an MVP? He made a video a long time ago with a whole bunch of dudes from the street with guns talking about stop snitching. That made it to that segment made it to America's Most Wanted. And when that happened, everybody knew that Carmelo, for him being marketed it as a role model and all that, was over right then and there. And so of course he ended up playing NBA and still making his money, because they can't stop that if you got talent. But well, they can if you do something too bad. But he never got he not really a decorated player. I think he got one scoring title. That's all he got. And that man clearly deserved more. That man was one of the best players in the NBA at one time. But because of that, he had the sun on his back forever. And the same thing gonna happen with Ja Morant. Ja Morant will never win the MVP. Mark my word. I'm not hating on the brother because I like him. I'm a fan of him. But he just doing stupid stuff and was making it work. He don't have nobody that actually care about him in his corner. He only have people who care about what he got. So they just living off. They don't care about his well-being. Because ain't nowhere in the world he could be my friend and doing nothing like that. I would allow it. Right? And so we're going to go to a few of these videos. First, we're going to start with Ron Jaworski. I think that's his name. And he's one of the NBA insiders. And he reported on it. So let's see what he got to say about it. And of course, when it's done, I'm gonna chime in.
Morant is facing the very real possibility of a suspension, a lengthy suspension, to start next season after this latest incident with he and an apparent firearm in his possession. This is twice in 2 months now. The league suspended him for 8 games. I sense already today that Adam Silver is going to feel increasing pressure from other teams in the league who see this as it impacts the Grizzlies, that it impacts them and their ability to market their players and their teams. Ja Morant is facing the very real possibility of a suspension, a lengthy suspension, to start next season after this latest incident with he and an apparent firearm in his possession. This is twice in 2 months now. The league suspended him for 8 games. I sense already today that Adam Silver is going to feel increasing pressure from other teams in the league who see this as it impacts the Grizzlies, that it impacts them and their ability to market their players and their teams. Ja Morant is facing the very real possibility of a suspension, a lengthy suspension, to start next season after this latest incident with he and an apparent firearm in his possession. This is twice in 2 months now. The league suspended him for 8 games. I sense already today that Adam Silver is going to feel increasing pressure from other teams in the league who see this as it impacts the Grizzlies, that it impacts them and their ability to market their players and their teams. Ja Morant is facing the very real possibility. Ja Morant is facing the very real possibility.
Now I want to let y'all hear that a few times so it can play in y'all mind. You heard the thing that he was saying, how it's gonna be, how it's gonna affect, it's gonna be pressure on the commissioner. Um, because other players, other owners and other teams gonna have they gonna be putting pressure on them to do something about this. Because when you do something, when you're a part of that NFL shield, when you're a part of that NBA shield, you represent a multi-billion-dollar organization. That's what a moral clause is put in your contract. You represent $1 billion worldwide corporation. I don't care how good you is. See, a lot of time that's what happens, especially to these young brothers, because they don't have a lot of guidance in the home for the most part. And his daddy apparently, and from what I'm looking at, I'm not gonna judge his father, but his father look like he just happy to be a part of the lifestyle. And he not saying that. It seems like nobody's not. You don't get me to believe that nobody around him love him enough to, and because they would have been told him, "What are you doing? What the hell are you doing?" So now we're gonna look at the video, another piece of the video, and just show you this is what we have going on in our community.
Ja Morant
Right?
is
This is what we have going on in our community. Look. $100 million dude.
Trying to get my dick sucked.
This is when the gun comes out. When the friend sticks up the two fingers, well, I'm not gonna say the friend, the groupie. When the male groupie sticks up the two fingers in a gun, in a gun, in a gun, like a gun, the gun comes up next. And I guess they didn't want to show that in this video, but we're gonna play this video again. This is $100 million guy. This is $100 million guy, a $250,000 guy, because we know his Nike investment with his Nike with all his endorsement, he worth over a quarter billion. I mean, 250 million. And this is what he doing. This is what he representing. This is what he's standing on. Then he got NBA YoungBoy in the background. Now we know what he stand for, but that's all good. The brother, you can't judge the brother by the music you listen to. But that's another thing, and I'm gonna have to make a video about that. How destructive not only the rap community is, but how destructive social media has been on the black community. If you want to go about that, like I say, I'm not gonna get off into that in this video. I always, my mama, she was born in the '50s. And I ask her sometime, and then I do my own research. When did this start? Where blacks just start not caring about each other to the point where they will kill each other like animals? And what they had in the '80s, when the crack era came, and I don't want to hear nothing about the white man brought the crack in, because guess what? Just because he brought it in didn't mean you had to do it and sell it to your people. We have to stop making excuses, blaming others, and take accountability. But that is another video for another day. But when gangster rap came on the scene, rap changed, bro. Because before gangster rap, NWA and all them came, rap the Sugar Hill Gang and Curtis, bro, they just was making word rhyme, and it wasn't about no violence. But when NWA and the gangster rap movement came, it never went away. And you got people when you listen to this music, I know from experience, when you listen to some of this music, it puts a spirit over you to make you want to react a certain way. And then you mean to tell me I got guns and I got money too? But what you not understanding is, and these dummies around you not understanding is, you can't do that. Because you represent billion-dollar corporations named Nike, named NBA, and I don't know what other endorsements you got. But the most important one of all is the NBA. Because that's the thing that changed your life. That's the thing that was an umbrella to everything else. And you willing to put all that on the line to be a street nigga, to be a thug. Now, I don't know if y'all familiar with a guy by the name of Kwame Brown. He was the first player, I believe, and I don't want to get this mixed up because I know about this, but I kind of been away from sports, so I might be wrong. But he was the first player to be taken out of high school with the number one overall pick in the NBA. He had a long NBA career, great NBA career. Of course, he didn't pan out to be like somebody like LeBron. LeBron was supposed to be he ended up panning out, but Kwame didn't really, I'm gonna say pan out, but he did have a long, great career, but it wasn't what he was expected. This guy was the first. I remember this like yesterday. It was in 2001. Kwame Brown was the biggest thing popping. Kwame Brown was, he was the guy and then he didn't go to college, and he, like he said, he gave it excuse. He gave his story. He was come up in the hood and single parent. He just wanted to make sure his mom was straight, so he took them instead of going to college. He went to the NBA. He went to the number one overall pick, and he was drafted by Michael Jordan himself. So he got a lot of great stuff. He's an historic figure. But a couple years ago, he started making YouTube videos, and he got a good mindset. He's a free thinker. He's one of the black men that's considered a threat to America. He's a free thinking black man, and he's straight. The free thinking straight black man is a threat because he's a critical thinker. He thinks for himself, and he gonna be part of the people. That particular black man is gonna be part of the black people who move on to the rulership. That's gonna come when we get our head out the sand, stop blaming, stop killing each other, stop hating each other, and we come together and unify. Everybody's not gonna be able to go because some of these Negroes, some of these women, they never gonna get on board, and that's fine. They gonna die off or they gonna exterminate themselves. But moving forward, you're going to be reformed or be removed, and that's just that simple. The older black, most of them don't got nothing to teach us. They still talking about the white man. So it's just a bunch of foolishness. But I want to let y'all hear what he had to say about the situation, and he was spot on. Let's go to it.
That ain't gonna scare no motherfucking body. So what the fuck are you doing? All you doing is making yourself look stupid. You are lowering yourself to the level of your mother friends. And they not your friends. Because your friends should have looked at you with that goddamn gun in your hand, slapped that motherfucker out your hand, and fought you on camera. Cause you know why? At least them white folks that paying you can say, you know what, at least he got somebody around him that care about him. That nigga should have been whipping your ass with that gun on camera so them white folks cannot void your goddamn contract. Cause he eating off your dumb ass. And you gonna sink the whole ship cause you wanna be a street nigga. And them white folks not gonna leave you with that type of money. You trying to be a street nigga. So your daddy can smile at every game all he want to. But the moment them white folks see that goddamn picture, boy, you finna lose a shit ton of money. I'm done talking to your dumb ass. You just dumb. You just a nigga that can jump. You a straight up nigga. That's the problem.
And you know what? I heard Skip Bayless talking about the situation that happened last time. And I remember whenever the situation happened, everybody was like, oh, they being too hard on Ja. He young. And I was with him. I was with him on that. And Shannon was like, yeah, I believe he going to change his life. And he so-called went to some kind of rehab or some kind of counseling or whatever. He did everything he needed to do, got in the NBA. He was quiet. He goes in the first interview and he raps a lyric from NBA Youngboy. It's a parade inside my city, yeah. And it's not about the lyric that he rapped. These people let me show you something, man. And this is what they don't understand. They got a lot of people like Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless is a hater. Skip Bayless hate black people. Skip Bayless hate black people, man. And he fools some people like, Lil Wayne, his brain so fried. And I love the brother. Brother is a legend. Brother a great brother. But Lil Wayne his brain is so fried to the point where he don't even know, you know what I'm saying? Because he really believes Skip care about him. There's a lot of other things he said that was outlandish. And, at this point, you listen to Lil Wayne music, but, that's it. You listen to him because he's a great rapper. He's always been a great rapper, still a great rapper, going to go down as one of the greats. Before this taking any type of advice or knowledge or wisdom from him, he the blind leading the blind. And that's a lot of these celebrities, to be honest with you. But let's get back to Ja Morant. And Kwame said some powerful stuff in there. You know what I'm saying? Because guess what? If his contract don't get voided because of that moral clause, he's still gonna lose a lot of money and opportunities moving forward for his behavior. Nike might cut him, we don't know. And all for what? All for what? Cause like Kwame just said, you showing that gun ain't gonna scare nobody. Cause for one, you don't need to be going nowhere where you need a gun anyway. But if you do go somewhere where you need a gun, them Negroes don't care nothing about no pistol, bro. Man, you got these Negroes out here now, 12, 13 years old. They take you in their house, they raid their bed up, and they got guns that's supposed to be in Iraq right now. So you ain't scaring nobody. You a Negro in a Rolls Royce with a whole bunch of money, man. You ain't no street nigga, so you automatically not getting respect. You gotta pay for respect. So you showing a gun on live, listening to me, and Youngboy don't scare nobody. But going back to Skip Bayless, and when him and Shannon was talking about it the first time, Skip said, I'm not really too sure about him. After he come off of suspension and rap that lyric. And these people hate these rappers. These white boys, these people like Skip Bayless, they hate these rappers. The people who sign these rappers, they don't care because they know one thing. These Negroes going to be in and out of jail. Hopefully they die. And most of the time, these record labels, these records, they own the master. So they going to get paid regardless. And they all about the money. But Skip Bayless, he don't got no dog in the fight. So he going to tell the truth. And he don't really care about it. He don't like I say, he hate NBA Youngboy. He hate black people. Skip Bayless hate black people. I said it here. Skip Bayless hate black people. And he was saying about, a lot of them hate black people. I'm going to say that there. And it's not no woe to the black man, no victim type of stuff. A lot of those white talking heads wish they had the specimen, the talent, the skill that black players have. And they don't. Like Skip Bayless, he couldn't even make a high school team. He was a failure. He was a failure at playing sports, so he started talking about it. And in my opinion, he's not good at that either, but the people who signed him these records don't agree with me. That's another story for another day. But he was saying about how, I'm not too sure about him after he comes back from suspension and still raps that lyric. And after this, oh man, I know Skip probably scheduled a party today. And tomorrow he is going to rip so deep until Ja Morant behind until it don't make no sense. And people might say, so what? Who cares? And I agree, who cares? But Skip is a representation of NBA owners, the people who make Ja Morant rich that you never see. Skip is a representation of them. And how he think is how they think. Right? This brother just messed up a whole bunch in his life. For today, for tomorrow, and for the future. He would never win an award. Now, if he win a championship, that's another story. He will never win an award because he got a shadow on him, just like they did Carmelo, as I mentioned earlier in this video. he gonna have a forever shadow on him. He gonna lose multiple endorsements. A lot of endorsements that he could have got is gonna turn around now and pick somebody else. They got a lot of up and coming great players in the league that's way more wholesome than him. They gonna go to them. He just messed up a lot. He just messed up a lot for him. And they got another little guy named Mikey Williams. If you're in the basketball, you know him. He's a high school megastar, and he'll be in the NBA. He got caught with gun because this is the culture. You know, living the type of lifestyle that you live in, Mikey or Ja Morant, you shouldn't even want to have nothing to do with gun because you're not a part of that lifestyle. And Mikey, even though he not in the NBA yet, he got endorsements because you can get endorsements now. He got endorsements. He making more money than a lot of people his age. Well, pretty much everybody his age. I believe he got a YouTube channel he making money off. Not to mention, he got a for sure ticket in the NBA. All he got to do is stay out of trouble. You don't see LeBron James' son doing this foolishness, man. But because you so caught up in this rap music, listening to what this rap music say, and we know in the hood, we know in the black community that it's heralded to be a thug, to be a street nigga, to be a gangster, right? That's the coolest thing to be. And it's costing our brothers, man. It's costing our brothers the opportunity to create generational wealth. Now, Ja Morant, he could still make a lot of money if he stay in the league and produce. But a lot of things that he could have achieved for NBA first teams, and that messed up for this year because of the suspension. He didn't reach the point. And all that has a play in the contract. All that has a play in the endorsement. All that has a play. All those contracts have clauses in them on how you perform, on what you do, what you don't do, on and off the court. And I say these things because, you know, we always want to blame somebody in the black community. Going back to what I said in the initial, when I first started talking, we always trying to blame somebody. But you know what? We can't blame nobody but ourselves for the stuff that we doing at this point. It's nobody else's fault. And in a situation where we is maybe, quote unquote, still getting hung by the white man, this time, only different from now and back then, is we actually giving him the rope, putting it around our neck, and then saying, do what you want to do with us. That's what we doing. That's what we doing now. So if you're going to blame the white man, that's cool. But make sure you blame yourself first. Make sure you look in yourself in the mirror and say, you know what? I'm going through this right now. The black community is the situation that is in now, not because of the white man, but because of us and the bad decision that we're making. So I want to play this Kwame Brown clip one more time, and I'm going to close with that. And I thank y'all for watching. Y'all be blessed, man. We got to get back. Or I'm not going to say get back. But I mean, I know prior to the civil rights movement, you know, black families was different and they was thriving. They stuck together as a community. We got to come back together as a community. First and foremost, turn to God. Turn our lives back to God and follow and obey his commandments. And second, we have to do a spiritual, mental wash of this nonsensical black American culture that says being a thug and a gangster is cool no matter what. Even these rappers, I say about these rappers all the time, some of them come from the hood, but bro, once you done made it, what are you still doing in those areas? What are you still doing around certain people, getting caught with guns? Little TJ, he got shot up a couple months ago, and then like a couple days ago, he got caught with a gun. Listen, I would not, if I was gonna get shot, it's gonna be somewhere in a I'm gonna be around people with money. So if somebody just have a mass shooting, or because anything can happen anywhere you go, but I'm saying if it's gonna happen to me the right way. One of these billionaire kids get mad, or somebody white, or have a mass shooting, but me getting killed by going to Roscoe's in the hood, like PB and Rock, it's not gonna happen. I'm not going around nowhere where I don't where I hustled and did all what I did to get away from. Now, if I'm doing a turkey drive, or I'm doing something for that hood or something for my hood or community, I'll be present then. But just to hang, to kick it, because ain't nobody I love going to be there. My mama not going to be there. So there's no reason for me to still be going in those areas, trying to be around those people, trying to have that mindset. Because in this video you see, Ja Morant you could see in one of those nice communities. And then the white people will start making complaints, because majority of white people live in that neighborhood. They'll start making complaints of loud music and certain stuff. You know what they'll say? The white man racist. That's what they'll say. The white man racist. Which is, they pay for that profit. They do what they want, long as they not breaking the law. That's what I'm going to say. You do what you want. So I ain't tripping on that. That's not an issue. I mean, the white people might not like it, but it is what it is. You paid and worked hard to get there, just like they did. But I'm saying, being that this black American culture that says you gotta be a thug, you gotta be a gangster, you gotta be over sexualized if you're a black woman, we gotta get rid of that, man. We gotta get rid of that. We gotta cleanse ourselves of that now, because that is destroying us. And the bad thing about it now is we got social media. Social media is putting a camera to all our foolishness, bro. And it's bringing us down, it's getting us killed, and it's making us lose opportunities to create generational wealth for our family. So I hope the brother Ja Morant get himself together. He didn't put himself in a deep hole. Hopefully he able to dig himself out. And so, like I said, I want to play this video by the brother Kwame Brown one more time, and I'm going to end the video. And like I said, man, I appreciate y'all for watching me, man. But like I say, man, this channel is about pro-truth. This channel is about being solution-based and solutions-oriented. It's not about blaming nobody. It's about looking in the mirror. That's what it's about.
That ain't gonna scare no motherfucking body. So what the fuck are you doing? All you doing is making yourself look stupid. You are lowering yourself to the level of your motherfucking friends. And they not your friends. Because your friends should have looked at you with that goddamn gun in your hand, slapped that motherfucker out your hand, and fought you on camera. Because you know why? At least them white folks that paying you can say, you know what, at least he got somebody around him that care about him. That nigga should have been whipping your ass with that gun on camera, so them white folks cannot void your goddamn contract. Because he eating off your dumb ass.
Period.
And you gonna sink the whole ship because you want to be a street. And them white folks not gonna leave you with that type of money. You trying to be a street. So your daddy can smile at every game all he want to. But the moment them white folks see that goddamn picture, boy, you finna lose a shit ton of money. I'm done talking to your dumb ass. You just dumb. You just a nigga that can jump. You a straight up nigga. That's the problem. That ain't gonna scare no motherfucking body. So what?